G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Walker. Thank you for watching this content. I really do appreciate it. Super Rugby, Super 12, Round 2, Waratahs versus the Reds. In the rain, in the bucketing rain. Apparently it's a mosh pit down there in the Leichhardt Oval. In the Leichhardt mosh pit. This was a game, despite the rain, this was a game that was not as messy as the one last week when Reds played the Rebels. Both teams were able to handle the ball quite well for most part. There was not that many mistakes. There was still a lot of mistakes here and there, but not really like drop balls like we saw last weekend. So this was huge game, and also this was a huge improvement for the Waratahs from last year, but I actually honestly don't understand how Waratahs did not win this game. They had overwhelming dominance over the Reds, and just the insurmountable opportunities the Waratahs were able to throw at the Reds and not able to score is just beyond my comprehension. And the very, very limited opportunities that the Reds had, literally, like, the very few, they managed to come out with points. So, yeah, this was a huge performance from the Reds, and also a giant step forward for the Waratahs following that horrendous year last year. And this was against the best team in Australia, probably many will argue, against the Reds. And almost coming out with a win. There were a few things that the Waratahs actually did really well. The scrummaging was exceptionally well for the Waratahs. Tupou had a bit of injury, he cannot play, so the Waratahs really took the opportunity. Having Angus Bell, the Wallabies loose head in the team, the Waratahs were able to really put on a lot of pressure in the scrummaging. There were a lot of opportunities where the Waratahs were able to take points. They decided to go for a line out. They decided to go for centre field scrums instead. That shows you how confident the Waratahs are. And in fact, the only try they were able to score is off of a scrum. So this was really, really good for the Waratahs. The Waratahs number 7, Gamble. I think that's his name is. Is that his name? Gamble? Yeah, Charlie Gamble. He had like this massive handlebar, long hair, and long black hair. And he looked like a porn star from the 1970s, seriously. He looked hilarious on the field. Gamble looked like a porn star from the 70s. Quite funny. So the Waratahs actually looked really good throughout the game. Good handling, good quick balls, hard carrying from the Waratahs forward, and not able to get the points. The Waratahs number 10, Donaldson, has maybe a little has moments of brilliance and the moments where it's kind of like just showed his lack of, I guess, experience on the field, where he was, there were opportunities where he should have kept the ball in hand and he kind of kicked it away. So he could probably tidy up a bit there for Donaldson, but he slotted a drop goal, which was kind of good, which was a good decision. And then, there were times where he was really good, and there were times where he needs a bit of improvement. Could learn a lot from James O'Connor, who handled the game quite well throughout the game. Made the exact decisions, the right decisions that was needed to be done for the Reds to carry out, to get the win. He kicked James O'Connor kicked the ball exactly when he needed to kick the ball. Opted, the conversions were, I think 100%. And then, overall defense was really good as well. Overall ball handling was exceptionally well for the Reds. So let's have a look at stats and you will understand. Waratahs, 377 run meters to 183. How could you not win this? Like, this is really insane. Turnovers conceded 17 to 15. So both teams conceded a lot of turnovers. Tackles, 100. Tackles, only 5 missed tackles. So the Waratahs defense was exceptionally good as well. And the Reds, 20 missed tackles out of 178. So the Reds were making a lot of mistakes under a lot of pressure. And the Waratahs were still able to score. 27 kicks to 33. Perfect kicking, as I mentioned, for the Reds. Donaldson missed 2 kicks. One of them was in front, so one of them that was a little bit costly was right in front. He should not have missed that one. And lineouts, both teams struggled with the lineouts. Maybe because of wet weather, but the Waratahs line-out really looked bad. This is something that really let the Waratahs down a lot. There was critical points where the Waratahs really needed the line-outs to work for them and just literally lost it because it was not straight. I think the Waratahs lost at least 2, maybe 3 line-outs that was not straight. Just like, literally high school level errors that was occurring at the Waratahs line-out that really cost the Waratahs quite a bit. Penalties considered 8-13 for the Reds. Again, just look at the run meters. How the Warriors had the Waratahs, not Warriors, Waratahs had overabundance of opportunity to score. Just so you know, at halftime, Waratahs had 263 run meters to the Reds 77. So how was that? And then the halftime score was only 10 points to 10 all. So how was the Waratahs only coming out of halftime a draw with 263 run meters? Which is insane, right? And it wasn't like the turnovers conceded for both teams at halftime, 8 for the Waratahs and 6 against the Reds. So it's not like the Waratahs was just giving away the ball all the time. It was just like constant pressure against the Reds, and they was just not able to score. Just really, really good defense from the Reds, and just maybe a little decision making could have been a bit better for the Waratahs. Yeah. Let's go through the game and see what exactly happened. So right from this get-go, the Reds gets an early penalty and opted for 3 points just to keep the ball, the point ticking over. So it was really wet out there, so you probably figure that points will be a bit hard to come by. So the Reds takes the first point 1 minute into the game with a penalty. A lot of pressure from the Waratahs resulted in them not able to score points. And finally, they decided to, they had opportunity to kick points at the start, but they didn't. So finally, they decided to take 3 points. And this was quite straightforward, quite straight in front. Donaldson just like skewed the kick and missed a easy attempt at 3. And then 19 minutes into the game, the Reds were just pounding the Waratahs try line. James Connor gets the ball, sees the kind of like overlap, sees the Waratahs defense out of line. Nice little crossfield kick straight into breadbasket. Jordan Patea, not even touched, puts the ball down. Try time. It was really, really spectacular to see. In the rain, not an issue. Crossfield kick. Jordan Patea catches it on the full. Easy try for the Reds. And suddenly the Reds is 10 points to 0 up, despite the Waratahs having a lot of opportunity to score and not able to put any points on the board. So then the Waratahs coming back out with a lot of pressure once again. Lots of penalties against the Reds, and Waratahs opts for a center field scrum about 5, maybe 10 minutes out from the Reds try line. Okay, so you figure maybe they'll take the points this close, 10 points down. No, the Waratahs opts for the scrum, which I think is the only reason they did that is because Tupou is injured. So Waratahs off the scrum, then sure enough, scrum look a bit dominant for the Waratahs, and then there was like a reset, and eventually the ball comes out. Harris gets the ball for these Waratahs. It looked like McDermott tackled him and he knocked the ball on, but the referee says ball knocked backwards. I thought that was a knock on forward, to be honest. I thought that was a knock forward. That was a bit of a bad call there. But referee says ball knock on backwards. It did look like McDermott kind of like slapped in the arm and the ball came out. So it wasn't. So the McDermott did have something to do with it. And then Harrison just picks the ball up. Referee says knock back. And McDermott, maybe it was because he thought it was a knock on. He could have made the tackle, right? Like I said, he literally just knocked the ball out of Harrison's hand with kind of like a grapple. He just like let him go, and Harrison just picks the ball up. Harris just picks the ball up, runs through, and scores a try. And McDermott just was just like standing there, right? He was completely did not expect that was not a knock on. So yeah, Waratahs got to be lucky there. Gets the first try on the board, 7 points to 10, and then it looked like there was a bit of a knock-on everywhere. There was a bit of a kicking game going on, and the referee just said didn't say anything. I wasn't sure. I thought surely there was a knock-on here and there. There was a lot of big hits in the first half as well. What's his name? Angus Bell did like a massive run, did a bit of a goose step, and then like put his own like hamstring or something. Like, and he put his own maybe like hamstring, maybe his quad, like hurt his foot, hurt his own leg, trying to do a goose step. He got the ball from a line out. And then there was also a huge hit for the number 8 to number 8. Harris had a massive hit against the Reds number 8. Is it Jones? Harris, yeah, Wilson, yeah, ran into Wilson. It was a huge hit. in the first half, which was really good. And then finally, the Waratahs were able to get a penalty just 3 minutes before the halftime, and then they were able to get the ball, kick that penalty, going in halftime 10 points to 10 with overwhelming dominance on the field, overwhelming possession and territory, and run meters, and not able to pull out ahead in halftime. Second half starts. Again, there was a lot of back and forward. Finally, 6 minutes in the game, Reds gets a penalty, and Reds more than happy to take the opportunity to score, take the points, as the points hasn't been on offer for Reds very much. James Conner lost this one. The Reds pulls ahead by 3 points. Few minutes later, on the 52nd minute, the Waratahs get a penalty in return. Waratahs kicks this one. Game's leveled at 13 points apiece. The line-out starts to struggle a lot for the Waratahs at this point. There was a lot of line-out that's been not straight, and this is like, it seems to be like deteriorating as well for the Waratahs. The Reds didn't even like contest in some of these lineouts, and Waratahs still not able to just throw a ball straight down the line. So it was just like elementary school error there for the Waratahs. It was not very good to watch them. And again, the Waratahs had a lot of chances of pinning the Reds down in their half, a lot of chances for scoring tries, and not able to do so. Eventually, on the 62nd minute, the Waratahs decide enough is enough of being in Reds half for so long and not able to score. Donaldson gets the ball, slots a drop goal, and pulls the Waratahs ahead by 3 with about 18 minutes left on the clock, right? So a few minutes later, on the 66th minute, the Reds gets an opportunity for 3 points. Again, imagine the Waratahs just pretty much inside your half of the whole game. Reds finally gets a chance to put 3 points on the board. This was right in front, easily kickable for James O'Connor. Reds decides to man up, goes for a try, and sure enough, this decision pays out for the Reds. The Reds pound the try line again and again and again. Eventually, Smith slips in, just managed to get the ball down for the Reds to score a try. Actually, in the first half, Donaldson actually looked like he scored at one point, but the referee couldn't see an angle. There was no TV angle to see that. He grounded the ball, so there was one try that was denied by the Waratahs. That was a little bit hurt. But this Reds one, again, looks similar situation. Smith goes over, but there was a camera angle. The referee says no try, decision on the field, could not see the ball. But there was a camera angle that showed the ball was grounded. So yeah, very lucky for the Reds and unlucky for the Waratahs. Very similar situations, but the Reds had a camera angle that showed the ball was grounded. So the Smith goes into try, and then Reds converts this one. Suddenly, the Reds are ahead by 4 points with about 10 minutes left. So Waratahs still not out at this point, still tries to play. The Waratahs kicks, in fact, Waratahs had an opportunity right away from the kickoff. They kicked the ball off. They did really well to recover their own kickoff from after the Reds scoring the try, and they made a nice little break on the sideline. And then I think it was the halfbacks make a nice break, and then the Waratahs gets the ball back, huge momentum. There was like an overlap, look like on the open side. Donaldson gets the ball, instead of just passing the ball, he crossfield kicks it, and then the Reds catches the ball inside their own 22, calls for a mark. Opportunity squandered. So that was really disappointing. And then Waratahs had a bit more opportunities, not able to put enough pressure on the Reds to actually get themselves into a try-scoring position. Jamie Roberts gets on the field on the 75th minute, so he had 5 minutes to play. I don't know how much money they're paying them, but to play 5 minutes for the Waratahs every weekend for a paycheck is pretty good. So yeah, he gets on the field for a 5-minute paycheck. And then with 2 minutes left, the Waratahs was having a scrum inside the Reds half, finally squeezes out a scrum penalty, and then Waratahs has one last opportunity to score a try to win the game. They kick the ball out for a line out, and this line out was about 10 minutes out from the Reds half. Easy line out. Looked like they were going to set up for a more. They throw the ball, right? Get this. This should have been a penalty against the Reds. The Reds did not contest the line out, but in fact, the Reds prematurely set up the maul, the counter maul, whilst the Waratahs player was still in the air. So this should have been a penalty for basically taking out the player in the air. But there's a huge but. This is how bad the Waratahs lineout was. The hooker throws the ball in. At this point, I think it was the reserve hooker. Throws the ball in. The ball did not reach the jumper. The ball was thrown short. So the Waratahs jumper was in the air. He could not catch the ball because the ball was short. And he knocks the ball on. He had to reach forward to try to catch the ball and knocks on the ball. I genuinely don't understand how a professional team could be this bad. Like, that was really, really bad. Could have been a penalty against the Waratahs, against the Reds, sorry, for the Waratahs. But, like the referee just, all right, that's knock on. The knock on occurred before anything else could have happened. Yeah, so that was knocked on. So 79th minute, Reds gets a scrum. And the ball goes out quick. The Reds manage it perfectly. And then on 80th minute, the Reds kicks the ball out. And there was huge confusion on the field because there was no siren. So the Reds basically looked at the clock, the game clock on the stadium. And then as soon as the clock ticked over 80, they kicked it out. And then there was huge confusion because there was no siren. Everyone thought Waratahs had another opportunity to play the game. And then the referee had to come over and down and had to check everything, check with the touch referee. And there was there was no siren, but the clock had ticked over 80. So yeah, it was game over, and that was the end of the game. So yeah, it was an entertaining game to say the least. Much better performance for the Waratahs from last year. Much more better performance from the Reds as well from last week. And yeah, the old rivals are at it, and always fun to watch. Waratahs taking on the Reds. Let me know your thoughts. Did you watch this game? And yeah, what did you think of the result? Do you think the Waratahs could have done better? And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching this video. I do appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I might skip the Super Rugby reviews for the Six Nations. I'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good weekend. Cheers.